Alright, so it looks like we are live again. Not 100% certain on that. Hopefully we'll have our answers here in relatively short order. As Jordy Carraher's still here. I think Regan McCauley's still around somewhere. Would not be surprised if he decided to bail given all the technical difficulties tonight. But
yeah, I'm just head out. But yeah, we are live. YouTube says we are live.
Okay, SpongeBob, go ahead and head on out. Okay, so hopefully, all right. So yeah, it's telling me to join in spectator, which is what we want. And again, for some reason, as you can see on our feed, for some reason, I am taking the formation lap. Again, that's one of the perils of F122's new spectator mode, is that I cannot simply spectate. I do have to be in the race first. And somehow, even though I did not race a lap, somehow, I swear Mike Nickens will get ahead of me there. But yeah, as you can see, formation lap still ongoing here. While we've got a minute, of course, we will pay homage to our home and native land with O Canada. So we'll be back in a moment. Start here, 4 lights, 5 lights. And now everybody's underway. Now I should be able to retire from session, and now we should be good. So again, apologies for the lap 1 caution here. We will be going into spectator mode. There we go. I think we're good from here. As it looks like Corbin McCauley's taking the early lead here. Colby Luca, did get pole position. But again, unfortunately, due to our technical mishaps, we did miss that as McCauley leads them into another little snake here on the opening lap. 35 laps here tonight at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. This would be one of the DRS zones, but again, that doesn't open up until lap 3. As we see a little bit of dust getting kicked up in the back, but good news is it seems like everything is semi back to normal here, so hopefully we'll be able to watch some good racing here. Riggs, it looks like the guy on the other side of your wall has built up a little bit of a gap here, although Colby Luca doesn't want to give that up.
Oh yes, McCauley was doing a lot of hot laps earlier to get ready for this race. This is definitely a very popular track in both real life with the fans and also the Formula 1 drivers. And again, as well, it's characterized by many twisty sections, a lot of high-speed straightaways, a lot of tight hairpins, and it is definitely one of the tracks that is very much a test of the endurance of the drivers and also how well you can break the corners, because as well, a lot of corners this track are extremely used even if you have the small speed, which is why you have to be careful and you have to get that exit off of the corners. And yeah, so far so good for the Canadian driver at Red Dirt Racing. So far so good. Again, he's got 2 podiums in a row, 2 third-place finishes. Will he be able to get the win this time around? We'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully he doesn't get destroyed by time penalty bad luck. like he did, like he has in the previous couple of races. It actually wasn't just Miami; it was also Portugal and Belgium. I mean, pretty much everyone else has been dealing with them. But yeah, Macaulay seems to be getting kind of the hard end of some of the specific drivers that have been getting kind of bad in.
And so we'll take a quick look at tire selection to begin the race. And interestingly, everybody except for Ivan Reynolds and Mike Nickens starting on the hard as we take a look at the predicted pit strategies. As we're now on to lap 3, meaning DRS will be enabled now that Macaulay has crossed the line. And Darcy Ford very much looking to get into the equation here now as he finds himself just over a second back of our race leader, who is still Corbin Macaulay. And again, 35 laps, maybe not a bad idea to start on the hards here. Rigs, obviously, you know, they'll take a little while longer to warm up and could potentially produce some grip issues in the early going, but if you want to go one stop here, hard might not be the worst way to go.
I mean, yeah, the hard tire compound is the longest lasting one. It's not exactly the most fastest out of the 3 main tire compounds. But then again, though, you're seeing pretty much every single driver, like you said, looks like driving around and Mike Nickens taking on the compound. So not really that big of a deal. But the thing is, whenever we get to the green flag pit stops will happen, then that means the tire compound is going to get faster, but the grip is going to get a lot worse. Now, maybe some drivers try to take the risk of a small compound and get a little bit far out and see an area that they're a little strategic and lucky with their speed, but being ahead of everyone else. But then again, though, medium probably the safest bet because you're right in the middle right there between speed and grip. So, yeah, once again, just it does make sense for everyone to be on the hard tire compound stuff.
Unless something like this happens, as we did have the yellow in Sector 1. Not 100% sure who exactly is responsible for that. Perhaps Ivan Reynolds.
You want to flip through the cars to see?
Yeah, just about to do that. I'm just about to actually flip to that actual PS feed as well, instead of just kind of watching through OBS. And let's just see here. It is in fact the number 67 of Ivan Reynolds. Looks like he's trying to get toward the tail end of that field once again.
Appears to be missing a front wing there. He on the leaderboard has fallen quite far back, so definitely not ideal for him, considering he scored a decent 8th place finish in the Miami Grand Prix. Well, actually, he's finished 8th place 2 races in a row after finishing only a bit of a disappointing 14th in Bahrain. So, not an ideal start for Reynolds, but again, there's still plenty of time. I think even in Miami, with that 8th place finish, he actually did have. I think he had a wing issue in Miami as well, so that might be 2 races in a row there, if I'm correct.
Meanwhile,
but again, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry to jump in. A couple things happened while we were talking there a moment ago. Colby Luca picked up a 3-second penalty for, I'm not sure if it was ignoring something under VSC, but the bigger story there, Mason Pope, currently in 5th, he's got a drive-through penalty to serve now for speeding under the VSC. I wonder if maybe he jumped the gun just a hair, or maybe the game deemed that he jumped the gun a little bit as we resumed racing. As you can see, the track is back to being green now. So, a couple of penalty developments, as it looks like Pope's going to go ahead and serve that drive-through right now. And I have to wonder, again, he's been the class of the field the last couple of weeks, as we'll get a look at him in pit lane here now, getting ready to serve the drive-through. Matter of fact, he's already through. So, this could be an interesting set of circumstances here as he rejoins. But we'll bring it back up to the head of the field where Darcy Ford might be getting ready to make a move on Corbin McCauley here. Potentially a lot of smoke coming off of those tires of the Red Dirt Racing number 71 as he comes through. And now both of them into that famous hairpin. Ford, of course, will have the benefit of DRS here on this back straight. And you see that gap just kind of disappearing now. It's under 3/10, so Ford maybe looking on the outside, maybe trying to switch. McCauley holds the inside line, but McCauley picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, which I believe is what inflicted Colby Luca as well. So I wonder if that is a corner cutting penalty or something potentially a little bit different. So Darcy Ford effectively the net leader of this race, but obviously on track. McCauley's the leader as Mason Hope tonight just got a little bit worse as well. Another 3-second time penalty headed his way. As again, we're following Darcy Ford here on track, the number 64 Atlantic Motorsports outfit. As again, you see a lot of smoke coming up as Mike Greathouse picks up a 3-second time penalty himself in the other run runner's car. And Ford, he's got the inside line here on the hairpin. He might have it unless McCauley gets some good drive out of there. They're going to be side by side. It's basically a drag race down this back straight. Ford will have the benefit of DRS. Should have the benefit of the inside line going into that final chicane. And looks like Ford's got the move done. So Darcy Ford is your new race leader as we come up to lap number 8.
Great job there by the number 64. Atlantic Motorsports there again in the past 2 races here. Ford again second place in Miami, and then he got kind of a 7th in Portugal. A bit of a weird 10th back in Bahrain, although I believe he did score the fastest lap there, and he also did in Portugal as well. He's gotten some pretty good fast lap time, a lot of fast lap times, just really can't get there for the checker flag to get the victory. But again, though, he finished second place in Miami, and had Mason poked on for any issues, Ford would have been right there to get the job done. And it appears here, because of McCauley's time penalty here, he may have a good chance, as we will eventually get to the green flag pit stops, of course. And you were also mentioning earlier about the penalty that McCauley had gotten under the virtual safety car. Yes, I believe McCauley actually had the same thing happen in Miami, where he sped just a little bit too fast under the virtual safety car, which unfortunately got him the penalty, but eventually the penalty did go away, and he was still able to hang on for 3rd place. So this time around, it might go away later on in the race, it might not. We'll just have to find out on that one. But again, though, Colby Luca falling into a lot more poor luck, because he looked very good for at least a good podium finish in Miami, but a unexpected incident.
Sorry to break in.
Yeah, I just saw that
here, Reed. Yeah, our leader Darcy Ford also finds himself with a 3-second penalty. So the slate's clean.
The broadcast jinx, it just continues on and on and on. But yeah, again, going back to Colby Luca there, he had a very unexpected incident in Miami, which, yeah, that eliminated him early. Very unfortunate for him. He had a good finish. Definitely going there, and now in the standings, he only dropped to 4th place in comparison to being 2nd after Portugal. So, I mean, that's not too much of a drop. He still has plenty of time to get back up to Dan Cudmore, who, yes, currently sits 13 points above in 1st place in the driver's standings. And also, yeah, speaking of Cudmore, it's been a bit okay. We got a yellow flag in the 2nd sector. We can.
That'd be Mike Nickens trying to get himself around. It looks like he just kind of got hung up in one of the chicanes here. Meanwhile, while you were talking, speaking of going back up, Corbin McCauley has gone back up to the top of the board here. He's your race leader once again on lap number 10 of 35 now in this Canadian Grand Prix, round number 4 of 11 in the Canadian E-Motorsports Network Formula One Series Season 3. And McCauley trying to push that lead out, trying to importantly get himself out of DRS range for Darcy Ford. That way he doesn't have that little boost, which does come up in 3 separate sections of this track. But right now the gap about 0.6 of a second. Climbing those, we get toward the hairpin. And around 0.9, we'll see if Macaulay can break that. No, he cannot, because that was the detection line there. And so we should see Darcy Ford with DRS. We'll take a peek. That's that green line on the top of the telemetry. That is the DRS wing wide open. Come through that final chicane. Navigate through the wall of champions. I think Mike Nickens might be off again. And that is going to be terminal for Mike Nickens, it appears. So we've got our first official retirement here tonight on lap number 11, as I'm unable to spectate with him. Looks like he kind of got caught out in the same spot we saw before. Safety car. So
that's going to change things up.
Hard tires surely coming off for the majority of the field at this point. One exception might be Ivan Reynolds, who just put his on. So whether he decides to go for track position or what he opts to do, we'll just have to see. And we'll have to see who's going to opt to come in. Cody Cudmore and Mike Greathouse already in for mediums. Looks like they just kind of happened to be in the ballpark whenever the safety car was called. And I got a little bit worried there for a second that we were about to lose the feed once again, but it looks like everything's all right. And so, as the leaders head down the straight, Macaulay stays out. Or, no, he does not. It says he's heading, but you see him very clearly on the start-finish straight, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. Maybe just a game glitch. But surely the majority of the field is in pit lane now, or working their way toward it. Top 4, 5, as you can see, opting for the medium tires. Looks like, oh no, Dan Cudmore has opted for the mediums as well. And yeah, I think we're going to see a full sail change toward the medium tire here, and the majority will be hoping that this it will satisfy the 2-tire mandate in each of these dry races here. And yeah, we'll just have to see who does what, as the field is going to bunch back up once again. And notably, looks like Darcy Cudmore is the one guy who's gonna stick it out on the hards right now, and he's moved up to 6th as a result, opting for the track position instead of the tire grip. And we'll have to see if the tires, the mediums, are capable of doing what would be a 24-lap distance, although obviously things are not quite as heavy or kind of wearing, so to speak, under safety car conditions. So I'd imagine under probably one more lap of safety car, if I had to guess. Typically it's a 3-lap procedure here within the F1 games. And yeah, sounds like something may have gone down. Well, we saw a little bit.
Yeah, we saw something there going through the hairpin, I believe it was, involving, sounds like Jason Butler. I know there was a car there, for like some blue car or something that was just stuck there, and the car seemingly like going through someone. Apparently someone flipped someone.
Yeah, we're missing a lot of things here conveniently. The guy that we're talking about, I believe he is streaming on Twitch, so we'll be able to see what's going on. But the end result is Luca and Reynolds both out of this race now, so not 100% sure what's gone on here. It doesn't sound like anything ideal, to say the very least. But again, just mystifying as to what's happening here.
Yeah, I'm looking back here on the stream here, and yeah, the cars are just rolling through, and then there's this blue car that's just stopped right there at the entrance to the hairpin, and the 2 or 3 other cars just kind of get a little bit trapped in there, and apparently Colby Luca was ran into the back of, so that is definitely not ideal.
No.
And yeah, Luca, for the second race in a row, is going to DNF, although it does. Yeah, Colby Luca's going to DNF for the second race in a row. Ivan Reynolds, this would be, I believe, his... No, this would be his second. This would be Reynolds' second DNF through 4 races, so that's absolutely unfortunate for him too. But yeah, again, Colby Luca, just no luck whatsoever right there.
Meanwhile, safety car is in this lap, so Darcy Ford is in control of the field here now. And comes through the final chicane. And we are back underway here. Lap 14 is now underway. And so, revised field, Darcy Ford, Michael Dimitrov, Jason Butler there in 3rd, Dan Cudmore 4th, Ty Higginbotham, a guy we haven't really talked about at all tonight. He rounds out the top 5, or did at least, but I think he may have just jinxed it, as Higginbotham falls down the field a bit. He was in 5th, now he's 9th. So, Cody Cudmore inherits 5th. Michael Greathouse in 6th. Although it should be noted that Greathouse, along with race leader Darcy Ford, still has that 3-second time penalty in play. And let's just see what's happened here. We'll see penalties. Yeah, 3 seconds for Darcy Ford, 3 seconds for Michael Greathouse, 3 seconds for Corbin McCauley, and still 3 seconds for Mason Pope down in 11th. And still, things get maybe a little bit heated here in the background. Without providing too much context, I think you can probably glean that it was related to the safety car, as Darcy Ford just sets the fastest lap of the race so far, 1 minute 14.332.
So yeah, there's a couple of videos that have gone through the messenger communications here from Colby Luca. It looks like the first one, yeah, the cars were just slowing down into the hairpin, and then out of nowhere, Luca got slammed up into the air, got into the back of Dan Cudmore just a little bit. Right in the air. From the leaderboard, it looks like Darcy Cudmore was behind Luca, but again, can't guarantee that one, although the second one clearly looks like Jason Butler went right on, it was like on the right rear of Luca and then just spun him right around. So again, it's hard to confirm full details because we don't have the perspective of some drivers in particular involved just yet. It's only Colby and Ivan so far. Yeah, Ivan was the first one getting run into. Or no, sorry, I'm trying to get this clarified here. Yeah, Ivan Reynolds looks to have been run into on the first one, then Colby Luca was the second one or something, so I don't know. Luca might have been involved in the first one. It's a bit hard to say right now, but all that we can officially confirm is that Colby Luca and Ivan Reynolds have gotten involved in things out of their control, so again, it's just rather unlucky of them here as Reynolds gets his second DNF of the season, and Colby Luca goes back-to-back and getting crashed out of the race. So just things are just not going well for Ayers Racing at all. Again, the teammates too, even better.
Yeah, that's both guys.
Or even worse, I should say, actually.
Yeah, meanwhile, we bring it back to our lead battle on track. Michael Dimitrov is effectively the net leader of this race. He's looking to make that happen physically as well. Darcy Ford, of course, still with the 3-second time penalty, but Dimitrov's going to have DRS down this back straight. And you see that gap slowly, well, not even slowly disappearing. It's down under 2/10 now as they both come through that final chicane. Dimitrov will have another helping here on the start-finish straight. As we go to lap number 17. Or is this a battle for second and third? This is telling me, okay, something's going on here clearly with the online systems, as it's saying Corbin McCauley's still the leader. Mason Pope 14.8 seconds back, so this is actually a battle for third and fourth. You may have to get some confirmation on that. Is that just randomly changed? As Ty Higginbotham picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Again, presumably related to something like that, jumping an apex on these chicanes. But let's just see. Find Ollie here. Yeah, looks like he started the lap. Actually, yeah, if we look at the track map itself. Wait, now it's saying Mason Pope is the leader. Not entirely sure what's going on here tonight. It's saying McCauley's down in 10th now. And now he's back up in the lead. So what in the world is going on here? Something like... Riggs, Halloween was last night. The gremlins should be gone by now.
Well, yeah, now it's time to focus on Christmas, even though there are absolutely no miracles going on whatsoever. It continues to be all the Halloween shenanigans.
Oh, man.
I mean, yeah, we got the technological stuff. We have stuff literally on the track. Like, we have literally everything happening. And, yeah, maybe it feels a little bit awkward after what went on in Miami, because that setup I had on my own was pretty much almost perfect right there. Again, nothing against what we have right now. It's all we kind of have right now. So yeah, just and yeah, for the home Grand Prix too, it just has to be strange and chaotic and just pretty much use every word in the dictionary.
No Canada is what we're gonna go with for the headline.
Yes.
Yeah, meanwhile, again, it's still saying, oh, now it's just changed to Darcy Ford being the leader again, so that is what we'll go with, I think. Oh, no, it's back to Corbin McCauley. What in the world is going on here? Because there's no way after, 5 laps of 5 laps of green flag racing, no way Corbin McCauley could have a 32-second lead, which is what it was showing. Like, seriously, Gwen Stefani would be envious of how BANANAS this all is right now. A little bit of a shoehorn in there maybe, but whatever. But Corbin McCauley's certainly not getting shoehorned here. He might be getting horned from the other side here. He's picked up another 3-second penalty. So he's got 6 on the board. Mason Pope, 3 seconds. Darcy Ford, 3 seconds. Michael Dimitrov, 3 seconds. And ditto, Ty Higginbotham, Michael Greathouse, and Darcy Cudmore. So, our 3 clean drivers in terms of penalties, or 4 I should say, Andy Hurdle, Jason Butler, Dan Cudmore, and Cody Cudmore. As again, we try to sort everything else out. And yeah, we're hearing lots of different opinions as to what to do about this. Anything and everything seems to be going wrong right now. But we can see McCauley himself on track. Looks like that is in fact Andy Hurdle behind him. As Darcy Cudmore picks up another 3-second penalty for his troubles. And so I think we might actually have it back here. I'm not 100% sure what is going on right now. We do know McCauley's just begun another lap. And we'll just scan down to Mason Pope, see where he is. Looks like he's just gotten overtaken by Darcy Ford, as a matter of fact. As those two will head down the main straight. And yeah, the gaps might actually have resolved themselves here now. So, well, I was fairly confident in saying that was going on, but then Andy Hurdle just dropped down to 11th. Now he's back to 2nd.
Yeah,
Good God.
I was wondering how Andy Hurdle was. I saw Andy Hurdle's name, I'm like, huh? Nothing against him, obviously, but.
But I mean, that is in fact Corbin McCauley you're seeing ahead of Hurdle as we ride on board with him right now. So that's going okay at least. Just trying to figure out where in the world is, well, not even Carmen San Diego in this case. Trying to sort this out. Great House picking up another 3-second penalty. Lots of curb jumping. Some guys might have to curb their enthusiasm on doing that a little bit to avoid future penalties. Go into another lap here. Just about at the 2/3 mark of this race. Obviously, Briggs, the safety car, kind of changed everything about 10 laps ago. And again, now I think it's just a question of whether or not these mediums are going to hold the rest of the way.
Yes, exactly. The safety car came out and everyone just finger snap right there. Everyone was got torn to shreds and such. And it's funny, all that stuff, the safety car happened. And I was looking at one thing, I was trying to figure out all the kind of details, just get the information. And I went back to the screen and showing you of the gameplay, and then I just see like pretty much like almost the whole field of time playing. And I'm like, well, every race is going to be the same way.
Meanwhile,
this game's ruthless.
well, you want to talk ruthless, like, we're on board with Darcy Ford right now. I don't know if he's on AI, but, or what's going on. I don't know if there's like another glitch going on, but it looks like he just absolutely Ross Chastained his way through both Corbin McCauley and Andy Hurdle. Like, he literally just phased right through them. And that gap is absolutely climbing right now. So yeah, there's going to be some questions asked after this one.
This race is definitely going to be a endurance test of the committee, and there's a sector something there.
Yeah, Ty Higginbotham looks like he's gotten caught up in something there at the end of that straight, or may have hit the wall of champions actually, based on the location.
Well, yeah, that's not a surprise. That chicane is definitely arguably the hardest turn of them all. I mean, that's where McCauley got his. That's where McCauley got his time penalty that we saw whenever there was battle in there. There's cautions all over.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's cautions or whether it's, well, Ford's just slowed. I'm not sure if it's just an unofficial safety car or what's going on. Full course yellow. I see a yellow dot. That's gotta mean safety car.
You might want to scroll through all the cars to see if there's issues.
Well, let's just see. Doing exactly that right now, as Hurdle's going to peel off into pit lane. Ford and Dimitrov did that ahead of him. Ford moving on to softs. So that's an interesting, bold strategy, Cotton. As McCauley will catch the safety car here eventually. Because it is in fact out on track. Again, I don't know why it's saying sector 1, sector 2, sector 3 for yellows. Why not just call it a safety car? As, oh, Hurdle.
Oh boy.
Okay, something is rotten in the state of Denmark here. As again, we're trying to sort all of this out as we go. Like, I think we're kind of at the mercy of the servers right now. If we're going to be real about it. And there is presumptive race leader Gordon McCauley, opting for the track position instead of the tire change. That looks like he's tucked in behind the safety car now, and indeed he is. But again, we'll have to see if McCauley stays out, takes the risk with the tires. And indeed he is. He takes the turns. He's out for another lap. I imagine he's going to try and go for it here on the medium tires as we're about to begin lap number 25.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the medium tire compound is definitely longer lasting than the soft, obviously, so drivers like Ford and Jason Butler here might end up getting on the short stick. Sarah McCauley and Dimitrov are right there on the medium tires, and even Mason Hope is going to make his way through trying to go 3 for 3 here, but he's been kind of in a bit of bad luck after going 2 for 2. So we'll just have to wait and see here, and yeah, there's a full safety car out here, and yet all it says is just sector 1, sector 2, sector 3. This game is... it's basically October 32nd.
Pretty much. Now, I made the point about the medium tires. McCauley staying out on his. They're 13 laps old. Ford coming into the new softs. Dimitrov's mediums are new, so he could be one to watch at the end. And Butler and Dan Cudmore's softs, of course, just came in this quote-unquote safety car run. And Popes are also 13 laps old, as well as the safety cars coming in this lap. Now we'll see if we've got a correction here. Instead of Darcy Ford just going all Ghostbusters on McCauley coming out of the hairpin. Should be, I thought, McCauley leading this one. Again, the board is saying Darcy Ford is leading, then Dimitrov in second, which doesn't look right to me.
At this point, I feel like we can't confirm anything anymore.
No.
Just whatever happens, whoever's just there, we don't know. They'll just be there. And gotta go.
Yeah, we'll have to sort this mess out after, as we got 10 laps to go in this one. And again, not really trusting the positioning or what we've got on our leaderboard right now. And so we'll just kind of have to wing it here, I think, a little bit for this last little bit. It certainly looks like it's Darcy Ford leading the field through. With Dimitrov in second, Jason Butler third. Dan Cudmore fourth, I was about to say Corbin McCauley because I saw his name pop up for yet another 3-second time penalty. It's actually Darcy Cudmore in fifth. I'm not sure how I got those two names crossed up. They're not even remotely similar. It's like April Fool's Day came like 5 months early, and I think that might be Corbin McCauley actually. Or, no, Greathouse, I think, might have been the one caught up in that hairpin, as it looks like he's fallen down the field a little bit. And so, Darcy Ford, according to this anyway, looking to try and get away on the soft tires. That gap is just over a second between himself and Dimitrov, according to what we're seeing. And it's just a matter of whether or not these tires are going to hold on for the next 8.5 laps. And now we've seen Riggs pretty well everybody use everything. Here, if you recall, the majority of the field started on hards as we briefly had a yellow in sector 2. And then the majority went to the mediums after the first safety car. And now we got a few drivers running the soft here in what could be the final stint of this race. And Ford looks like he's pulling out a bit of a gap here And Michael Dimitrov might have to watch for Jason Butler, and Butler, he's looking like he's going to make the move for second, and he's made it stick, but with a 3-place time penalty on it. Or not 3 places, 3 seconds. So,
Cudmore.
Yeah, Darcy Cudmore picking up 3, DRS enabled once again. And again, somehow it's saying Andy Hurdle's in the lead, 4/10 up on Darcy Ford, but I absolutely do not see him anywhere near. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is our lead battle here still. Ford, I think, is leading Jason Butler by 1.3 seconds. Dimitrov a further half second back. Dan Cudmore in, I would say, a net 4th, just based on what we're seeing here. Although, in saying net, let's look at the penalties here, and it's 3 seconds for all of Ford, Dimitrov, and Cudmore. So right now, let's go ahead and forget all of that. So right now, Ford would come out 1 second ahead of Dan Cudmore as things just continue to change. Riggs, this is getting weird.
Spooky.
Yeah. I swear all of the Halloween decorations are down. But right now it is ghosts of working video games.
I mean, there was a game patch earlier. Maybe they kind of forgot the Halloween spirit. So take that out of there.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure what's going down there. Certainly not what we want to be seeing right now as we try to figure everything out here. Good news is, we've only got about 5 laps of this to figure out. Unfortunately, it's probably not good news to be saying that. As again, it's showing Andy Hurdle in the lead now by an impressive 26 seconds, which... Now we got a yellow in Sector 3. Did someone tag the Wall of Champions there? Nope. Track is clear once again. As Greathouse picking up a not-so-great time penalty there, although we do have... Did Greathouse maybe spin out there in that Wall of Champions section again? Let's see if I can find him here. There he is, yeah. So it looks like we're back to green flag racing now. And I think Greathouse is about a lap down here now. Well, again, don't take my word for it. Don't even take the game's word for it, I would say at this point. As things just be getting weird. As it looks like, according to this board anyway, Darcy Ford's opened up a 6-second gap over Michael Dimitrov as he navigates the board, or navigates that final chicane cleanly. And yeah, things just keep moving around here. We'll have to probably rely on the actual drivers themselves to provide context on positions as we go along, or after we finish up this race. But yeah, Reed's just I don't even know what to call this anymore. This is making NASCAR feel good.
Yeah, it's pretty much the ending of the Martinsville race this past weekend is pretty much what we're getting here. Except we don't. Except the thing is, if we had a car trying to ride all the walls around here, they'd be probably having their tires come off, the wings come off, they'd be done. The whole field would be done by now.
Yeah, just a little bit different construction, to put it very lightly. As Darcy Ford. Not 100% sure, though. We'll check in on Corbin McCauley anyway, just to see where he happens to be. And he is showing on track roughly at that distance, with Pope in second. I was about to say 5 seconds back, but then the board changed again. Oh, I wish we could swear on these broadcasts sometimes. It's just one of those nights. As McCauley comes up to the hairpin once again. And again, the board is saying McCauley leading Mason Pope by 5.3 seconds. Andy Hurdle in third. Darcy Ford fourth. Michael Dimitrov fifth. Again, that's what the board is saying, as we've got yellows in sectors 2 and 3. And
safety car.
This one's going to end under the safety car, I would say.
Oh, gosh.
Of course it would end under the safety car. Because, again, typically, safety car, 3-lap window. Guess how many laps we have left? 3.
I mean, unless the game somehow gets smart and gets a final shootout, but that's not happening.
Well, I don't think Michael Massey suddenly went into game development, so I think this one's going to end under the safety car. Let me see. And it sounds like it was Mason Pope with the DNF. And it looks like he was just trying to hold on for dear life there at the very end, which again could speak to, and maybe those medium tires did in fact go on him a couple laps too early.
And another penalty. It just keeps up.
Indeed it does. Now, let's just see. So watching McCauley right now, it looks like he's somewhere in the vicinity. He's 4th in line behind the safety car, I believe. Oh, safety car in this lap. So we are going to get a resolution. That happened fast. And so, I mean, it'll be 2 laps left. So again, I made the joke about Michael Massey getting into game development, but there's 2 laps left, not 1. So that was a quick field collection. And so, we're back under green here for the final 2 laps. As again, I think it's, well, we show a yellow in sector 3. As again, that's Great House trying to navigate things from the back, but looks like Darcy Ford is leading this race despite what the timer's telling you on the left-hand side. And it's going to be Ford, although Ford does have that time penalty, so he's going to be driving the absolute wheels off of that Atlantic Motorsports car, trying to build up enough of a gap to get it ahead of Dan Cudmore, who looks like he's in position, I think, for his 2nd win of the season, if we've got this right here. And so Ford makes his way around the hairpin comfortably. Dan Cudmore there in hot pursuit. That gap around a 2nd. Ford would need 3. So he would need Cudmore to make a mistake on the last lap, I think, to stretch that out enough. Because notably, Jason Butler and Michael Dimitrov also with time penalties.
And would that be Dan Cudmore behind Ford?
It is indeed. And again, he's clean right now. So, final lap, mercifully, of tonight's Canadian Grand Prix. Darcy Ford on track is the leader.
I don't know, this game saying Hurdle might be winning the Canadian Grand Prix. Okay, I should just stop.
Yeah, it's been one of those nights, folks, if you haven't figured that part out. Because, yeah, I can't imagine it opened up a 5.7-second gap one lap after a safety car. That would be superhuman speed, basically. As Ford comes up to the hairpin for the final time.
More gain momentum?
What was that? Yeah, Cudmore navigates it clean.
I was wondering if Cudmore had momentum there, but I don't think he's up there unless he decides to rock Chastain for the wall of champions here.
But again, Cudmore's clean. Ford has 3 seconds of penalties, so he's well within the 3-second threshold. Now it's saying, okay, so Corbin would probably just set fastest lap. There's the time change. And yeah, it's saying Dan Cudmore is your race winner, I believe.
Ford time penalty?
Yeah. Looks like the final gap is 1.63 seconds after the penalties are applied. And so, again, here's your race winner, the number 2, the Alpha Flow of Dan Cudmore. Again, a weird night. Mason Pope is awarded driver of the day. And so we'll have to get a better look at what this podium is going to look like. Because I am as baffled as the drivers are.
Well, yeah, not counting the All-Star Series race, which was won by Darcy Fords. Dan Cudmore is the defending race winner, so he's going to go back-to-back and winning the Canadian Grand Prix. It feels a bit awkward because I know last week there was a game glitch that's Darcy Ford take the win over Mason Pope, but Pope was the real winner. And I had people screaming at me through communications that Mason Pope was the real winner, so still kind of feels awkward this time around, but we're seeing drivers saying congrats to Dan Cudmore in the victory, so we're just gonna hopefully be good on that one. But yeah, Dan Cudmore will score his second win of the season. There'll be 2 wins and 4 starts, 2 podiums and 4 starts there as well. He will definitely continue to hold the points lead in the driver's standings. Constructor standings, don't know for sure on that one, but yeah, Cudmore once again goes to victory lane. Kind of took a bit of a break after the Bahrain, after the crazy race at Bahrain where he scored a victory there. And Portugal he finished 5th, and he finished 5th in Miami again. So again, some top 5s kind of went off the podium there. But yeah, Dan Cudmore returns to victory lane, looking to continue the momentum from having won the 2021 championship, I believe. Correct?
Yeah, he won season 2. He did indeed. And yeah, he's done well since pulling the old Lennox Lewis move and racing under the British flag now instead of the Canadian one. As I've just noticed, or I noticed that a little bit earlier. Had to point that out, as we will mercifully move on from this race. And speaking of Britain, that's where we're headed next, as we're off to another classic track in the form of Silverstone for round number 5 of this year's Canadian E-Motorsports Network Formula 1 Series, the British Grand Prix. And assuming everything goes to plan, which obviously we can't do after tonight, but assuming everything goes the way it's supposed to, it'll be the 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time start right here on the Canadian E-Motorsports Network YouTube channel. But for now, Riggs, I think we probably don't need to worry too much about any kind of post-race wrap-up, because really, what is there to be said? It was just weird all the way around.
I don't know. We're probably going to get the exact same shenanigans at Silverstone. Probably, I don't know. Maybe we'll have a Verstappen and Hamilton 2021 situation in the game this time around. I'm sure that would probably be quite the thing for the committee to have to deal with. But the committee's probably going to have to deal with a lot of stuff that happened in this race tonight. So Yeah, Dan. I mean, we did. At least we had a Canadian win the Canadian Grand Prix. That's fitting
Ah,
because
again, he's racing under the
yeah.
British flag now, remember.
Oh no, okay. Never mind. Okay, you were saying that. Although I will still point out that even in real life, a Canadian can't even win the Canadian Grand Prix. So
Yes.
yeah. Sorry, Lance Stroll and King Latifi.
Go Tiffy.
Or that. Yeah.
Whatever that
Bye
is.
bye.
2 more races for him, 7 more races for us this season. We hope you join us next week at Silverstone, where again, hopefully things will be sorted out far better than they were tonight. So thank you to anyone who decided to bear with us for the majority of this stream, and apologies for what you had to see. But for now, I think we're mercifully going to go ahead and wrap all this up. So for series founder Dan Cudmore, color commentator Regan McCauley, I'm Jordy Carraher. We hope somehow you found some enjoyment in tonight's Canadian Grand Prix, and we'll attempt to do it all over again next week. Only better.